Welcome to the brand new course of how to design premium, stunning websites in high level from scratch, step by step, with no step missed. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pritam. I run a Go High Level funnel and website design agency. We build marketing funnels for our clients literally across the globe. We have been building so for 100 plus of our unique clients across 12 plus countries. And like the previous year, I am back again with a brand new video on how to create these kind of stunning websites from scratch on high level, and I'm going to show you everything step by step so that you can do it for yourself, learn it, provide it as a service, or just go to pritam.com and hire us to build it for you. Right, as you can see, this is some of the top notch qualities of the site that you will see on high level, and we are custom creating it from the blank canvas, and that's exactly what we are going to share it with you. Does that sound interesting? If yes, then make sure you grab a coffee, sit down, relax, and watch this entire video till the end because this is going to be a bit lengthy. All right. So as you can see, this is pretty customized as to because we're going to learn everything from creating the navigation bar, right? From creating these kind of effects, right? We're going to you also add some CSS in here. Look at the beautiful hero section like this that kind of grabs the eyes. Not just that, this website is not about creating a template, selling it, right? It's more about the value that it brings to the particular business. A great roofing business probably makes over $1 million every single month, right? And if you can sell them and show them the value that they are going to get from this particular website that you're going to do for them, which is super customized, this website could be worth thousands of dollars, right? So for just for example, the website that we do can range anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 and even $10,000. We have been creating funnels and websites for our client for 10 plus thousand dollars, right? And yeah, this is just the starting of how stunning this can look. Now, if you see, these kind of sections are a bit unconventional in nature, and you won't really see them in normal Go High Level funnels and site. And that's exactly what we are going to do in this particular tutorial. So this is going to be pretty interesting, pretty detailed, and yeah, we're going to have some fun, right? So make sure that you watch the video till the end. All right, guys, so let's get started. So as you can see, I am currently inside the page builder of high level. Now this is the funnel builder of high level, right? So once you have created and opened up this blank canvas, right, I'm going to show you the magic or the hard work behind creating these kind of stunning funnels and websites. Well, I'm not just going to show you as to how to drag and drop and literally create this entire thing, but I'm also going to explain you, right, the reason of what we are doing and why we are doing so. You will be able to understand the marketing, the copy, and the layout, which will help you understand that okay, why this is so important and why you should do something like this way, right? So you are going to learn and pick my brains while we are learning this entire thing from somebody who has created over 400, right, funnels and sites on high level, right? That number is pretty huge, and I hope that this is going to help you to move a bit further in your life, in your goals, and in your business. All right, enough of marketing and enough of stuff done. Let's get into actually creating it. Before we get started, I'm going to give you an overview as to what exactly this canvas looks like, what exactly these icons, what exactly they do, and then we're going to go into building this step by step. All right. So as you can see, the first things first, GoHighLevel just introduced auto save. It was not available earlier. This is a brand new feature. I guess it was just introduced a day or two ago. And this is pretty interesting because earlier you had to have this save button, but now it auto saves within seconds the moment you make any changes, which is what I like. This is awesome. Apart from that, now as you can see, the first thing that you will be able to see is called an add element, right? I hope you can see that. Now, when you have add element, when you click on it, it kind of gives you a lot of options, right? First is going to be the sectionals, right? So we're always going to use a full width section. We're not going to use any kind of wide or medium or small. The reason is very simple. We, as a funnel designer, as a website designer on high level, the pros ones, right, out there, especially the ones who are watching my videos, right, I want you guys to use the full width because I want you guys to have the total control on the entire surface or real estate available on this particular screen, right? And that's exactly why we're going to use full width, even if we're not going to use it, even if it's not required. we're still going to use full width. And if you have to make it shorter, we're going to use our rows and columns for all those purposes. But for now, let's use full width right here, right? Let's see as to what else do we have. We have rows, super important. We're going to use rows and columns as well. So I won't give you an introduction as to what we're going to do later on, but let me help you understand as to what exactly are these. Then we have elements, where this is basically where you drag and drop every single details of the elements that you can add, whether it's header, whether it's any kind of text, any kind of form, blogs, media. If you want to have any kind of custom values, which basically custom codes, calendar, countdown, literally everything. GoHighLevel has a lot of these kind of elements. Then we have something called as global section. I'm going to teach you about global section soon in upcoming videos. Then we have sectional template. This is where you can take a pre-built section that you already have in your account and use it multiple times, and you can save it as section templates. You have widget marketplace in case you want to use any kind of widget. Those are available here. Then you have pre-built section. These are some kind of pre-built section available. I won't really recommend them using it unless you are an absolute beginner. Then we have buttons. Of course, again, I will not recommend using them because unless you're an active and a complete beginner. Then we have social media icons. I'm definitely going to use any of these. Then you have countdown timers. We really don't have it because I have to create them externally. Then we have some images and progress sidebars, right? Then we have the layers. The layers is going to show as to how many layers you have on this particular page. As you can see, you have this particular layer. The more sections you're going to add, the more sections you're going to see here. And then we also have a pop-up, but we haven't added anything on there yet. Then we have pages. It kind of shows us how many pages you have in this particular funnel site, right? And then we have tracking code. In case you want a tracking code, I see a lot of people kind of asking me as to where we can add these kind of tracking codes. For the header tracking code, you can enter right here. For the footer tracking code, you can enter right here, right? This is exactly where you're going to do all your stuff, right? And then you have custom css, right? So if you go to the site, you'll be able to see this kind of effects, right? And same, as you can see, these kind of effects, all these effects are going to be added with css in here. Now let me tell you one thing, I am not really into super custom coding. I am into custom built site inside HighLevel. So I don't really like to use too much of html, css and javascript because of an issue that I've been facing, not only for my projects but also literally for everybody, which is that GoHighLevel is an evolving platform, and when you add custom code on top of their baseline code, so whatever you add here is on the top layer based on the base level code that GoHighLevel has. Now what happens is, in this scenario, if anything changes at the back end which does not comply with your surface level code, then your code becomes invalid and creates a lot of issues. So a lot of maintenance hassles comes in the picture. So I write the code which are very, very basic, very, very simple, because we are going to be focusing on UX, UI, copy, conversion, all of those principle, and not just CSS, right? And still you're going to make it much, much better. Apart from that, what we have here is text and typography. We're going to change that. We're going to use something that we like. And by the way, anything you change here is going to get implemented in the entire landing page or the entire page that you can see here. Right? Same goes for headline fonts, same goes for content fonts, same goes for these kind of color fonts. All right. Then you have background. In case you want to change any kind of background images, you can use here. Same goes for the color. All of these changes gets implemented on the entire real estate, which is the entire landing page available in front of you, right? Then we have something called as pop-up setting, in case you want to have a pop-up, which is again a very, very important real estate for marketing purposes. For example, if somebody is trying to leave the website here, you can literally have a pop-up that kind of right pops in after 10-15 seconds with a form which says that, hey, do you want a free quotation? Then please submit your details here and our team will get back to you, which is amazing marketing. But then you will have to implement that as well. And then you have SEO metadata. If you want to add any kind of SEO metadata, you can always add in here, which again is going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to show you all of that as well. Then we have cookie consent. If you want to add any kind of cookie consent, you can add it here, right? And I think that's pretty much it, right? You have your home section here, you have your mobile version here. So we're also going to create a mobile version. So make sure that you watch this video and the upcoming videos, because that's where this is going to be connected. This is the version. This is going to show all the previous versions that you had, right? And this is where you get all the details of any particular elements. For example, if I click here, this is where exactly it's going to show you all the general details, and then it's going to show you all the advanced details, or you can say advanced settings. All right, let's first get into it. We are going to build this section by section, and I'm going to explain you, give you the logic, give you the understanding as to how to build it and why exactly we're building it the way we are building it. All right. So as you can see, this looks pretty stunning, right? The first thing that we're going to build is always going to be the navigation section. As you can see, this is pretty white, pretty beautiful, and I'm going to show you how to build exactly this entire thing, right? The first thing first we have here is the house here, right, which is the logo. You have this home, you have about, you have services, and within services you have all the services, right? Then you have appointment, we have contact, and then we also have this separate section here or separate column here which says callers for free quotation. One thing you'll notice here is that you have this hover effect, and then you also have this sub menu which also has an hover effect, which looks very premium. I won't deny that. Apart from that, you can see that this particular button has kind of gradient effect. It's not really monocolor, but it's bicolor. It has two colors, right? So because of which we're going to use a bit of CSS, so it's a bit light on the top and a bit darker at the bottom, right? Not just that, we also have this effect, which kind of this glowing effect, right? We're going to use all of that inside this particular navigation bar. Sound interesting? So without a further ado, let's get started into this, right? So as you can see, we have the full word section here. Now the first thing that I am going to be doing is I'm going to add a particular column. Now how many columns should I be adding? Now this is an entire navigation bar element, so this can exactly fit inside a one column row. And then again we have this second thing here which is going to be fit under the second column. So we only need two columns here, right? I hope you understand. In case you have any kind of doubts, let me know in the comment section and then I'll be able to show you. Now as you can see, I'm literally playing with this particular margin and kind of checking as to how much space I can have in this particular fixed width column, right? And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it to the right because I want most of it here from the logo to the contacts to be added in here, right on the left hand side with the maximum real estate. And then we have this contact section which we're going to add in here, right? So let's click on add an element, right? Now you're going to search navigation bar or navigation menu. Just click here, drop it. As you can see, you got your navigation menu, right? Then we're going to have this kind of button, right? So just click here on add an element and then the search button, right? This is going to show you and you can add your button as well. This looks decent, but nobody's going to pay you tens of thousands of dollars for a particular like this, right? So yeah, what we're going to do in here is we're going to use the logo and we're going to custom create all of this. All right. Now, as you can see, you already see that add your logo is available here. Then you have business name, but we don't really need a business name because our name is already added in the logo. So we're going to go in here and then what you're going to do is, as you can see in the settings on the right hand side, you have business name. I'm going to click and turn this off. All right, I think this looks pretty nice, right? Then the next thing would be to upload this particular image on this particular logo section. Now for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down, right? And then as you can see here, brand logo and configuration. Inside this, we have logos in menu, which is turned on. Now, if I turn this off, the logo is gone, right? So I need to turn on this particular logo and then optimize image load. I am definitely going to turn this off because every image that I'm using is already optimized. In case you don't know how to optimize images, it's basically compressing them so that they can retain their quality at the same time they are of lesser size. But if you keep this turned on, GoHighLevel is going to reduce their size, but the quality will not be retained. It's going to become a bit pixelated, which I'm sure you won't like. So in case you want to know as to how to compress this, just go to compressjpg.com. Compressjpg.com is going to give you all the options where you have jpg, png, gif, and pdf, right? For this particular use case, I'm going to use png because png is what I normally use, and then you can click on upload files and then get them uploaded, compressed, and then download it. Now, the reason why we are not going to be using on this particular part is because I already have them in my media file. So I'm just going to go inside the solar and roofing. I'm going to go into the first one, and then I'm going to be using this particular logo. Let me see, where do I have it, right? So yeah, as you can see, this is where I have the logo. The logo looks a bit squeezed up. That is because of the pre-built settings that GoHighLevel already has. If you see on the bottom right hand side corner, it already has like 100. I'm going to make it like 80, right? And then, sorry, I'm just going to make it free, and then the height, I'm going to make it free. Now, what happens with high level is it kind of increases in proportion. So the moment you have only one height being fixed, the other width becomes the 100% proportion that you originally uploaded. For example, if it's 1 by 2, right? If it's 1 on the other side and 1 by 2 on the other side, the smaller you make the height, the smaller is going to be the width, right? So it's going to be automatically taking up, right? So as you can see, this looks pretty nice. I really like it. There are some kind of paddings here which I really don't like, so I'm possibly going to just remove all of them and just make it neat, clean, and healthy. All right, I think it looks nice. Now we have so many of these buttons that we need to create, so let's get started with creating them. First is home, about, then services, right? So let's go on the top. As you can see, we have home, about, team. So these are all pre-built, so I'm going to change them into creating as we desire. So we have home. I'm going to leave this as it is for now, because when we are creating all the other pages, I'm then going to show you as to how to link them together. And the best part here is I'm going to show you how to make them global sections so that you don't have to make changes on every single page, which is pretty amazing, right? Let's submit that here. Then we have about. I'm going to click in here. I just want to make it caps. All right, looks nice. Then we have services. I'm going to change that to services. Now, understand one thing, right? The Teams is not really in the main menu. It is the sub menu. Do you see that? You do not see a team section in here, right? The only thing you see here is basically home, about, and this drop down icon, contact. When you click on this drop down icon, you have then team, right? So we're going to take this off the team of, I mean, remove it from under from about, and then I'm going to add here services, right? SCRVs, right? Now I'm going to make it services. Now notice one thing, that this has a go to URL, which is a website, or go to step, or go to page, whatever you want to do it. And then I'm going to add appointment. It's going to be a new menu. I guess that's correct. So appointment is done, and then we have contact. So we already have contact. I'm just going to drag this down. As you can see, we have this dragging ability in here in high level, which is pretty interesting and really easy to use as well. So we're going to make it contact. All right, and then I'm going to save it. So we have everything that we need in terms of the navigation bar for our main menu. But there's something that we still do not have, right? And this is called the services. So these are called as the sub menus. Okay, let's go ahead and create these sub menus inside high level. The first thing that we see here is free inspection, right? So I'm going to create an item which is going to be a new menu, which is going to be free inspection, right? So let this be here, and then I'm going to add this here. As you can see, this kind of created an additional menu, but the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and then I'm going to keep it inside, basically taking it just below the services and then dragging it towards the right hand side, right? That will make this inside the services and not in parallel with services. So when you see here, now you have free inspection. Now, one thing that you will be able to see that now services has only this section, but it can also get redirected to a particular page. As you can see, add a link, because we are going to have a services page dedicated where we are going to basically have a list of all the important services that you're going to see. So let's click in here, and when you turn this on, you have all of this. I'm going to keep this like this. Then we have commercial roofing, which is what we're going to add again. So let me get that added. Commercial roofing, that's pretty much it. And then we have a roof replacement. Looks nice. Let's get that added. And then we have solar panels. But before that, as you can see, the more menu bar we are adding, the menu items, the logo is getting squeezed up. So without that, I'm just going to go ahead, keep it just inside the services, just below the services, and then drag it towards the right and just leave it. Same goes for the roof. And as you can see, now we have this kind of layout here, which is what I like. All right, now we're going to go to solar panels. Let's click here, click on new menu, and then we're going to have solar panels. Looks really nice. Yep, let's get that corrected. Amazing. Then we have damage repairs. Let me get that added just below the services. Then we have damage repair. Looks nice. Let's get that added as well. Then we have roof renovation. Let's get that added as well. Let's drag it down just below the services and make sure that all of this kind of uses this. Now, do you see the similarity in them? Yeah, we still need to change the color, the branding, and all of that stuff. I know it, but kind of now looks very, very similar, right? Okay, we have got everything done in the section here, which is the top navigation bar. Now, I'm going to use something on the buttons, right? As you can see, this is a number that I'm going to use, and then we're going to have this particular text call as for free code. All right, let's go to the typography section and let me change the text here because I would like to use Poppins. Poppins is very universal, seamless, and easy to go font, which I really like to use. So I'll keep that in there. And then we have this button. So we have this phone number, which is 935. Now, this is not a real number, guys, so don't try calling it. But yeah, so we're going to use this icon here, right, which is going to be the phone. And then I'm going to add text here, right? The text can be 938. All right. Then we have 230. Then we have 48477. Looks nice, but I think it's too big. Let me make it smaller. So if you go on the top, you'll be able to see font sizes. I'm just going to make it like 17 or something, or 16 should also be fine. And then I'm going to add this text callers for a free code because we want people to literally see this text, think of it as a call to action, and then make a decision to call us, right? Then we're going to have some kind of text here, which is going to, let me add a subheadline here, and this is going to be call us for a free code. Now I'm going to make this into a different font. Do you see that? This is a different font compared to these ones, right? And the reason for that is that this looks very nice, first of all, and the second thing is it's very squeezed up. It also looks very authoritative and easily can be used for call to action headlines and lines. So what I'm going to do here is instead of, as you can see, something called as typography type, instead of headline font, because currently we have the typography as Poppins, the headline font, I'm going to change that to custom. Now when you click on that, it kind of gives you three options, which is headline font, content font, and custom font. So headline and content font is already pre-selected from the main bar, but now I'm going to add something called as content font. When you click in there, you see default font, and I'm going to choose something called as Anton. Do you see that? This is called Anton, and this looks pretty nice. I'm just going to make sure that they are neat, clean, and beautiful. I'm going to change it to probably 18. And the second thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some spacing in there. All right. There was a place to add some spacing. Let me kindly check that out. Right. So it's probably in the navigation. Line height is fine. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, as you can see, letter spacing is available here. So when you click on normal, right, I'm going to add like 1 pixels. I think that should be it. I can make it smaller and I make it 16 or even 17. That should be good. All right. So there is some space between the button and the text here. So I'm going to click in here and then I'm going to add, for example, 5 pixels, right? Or 2 pixels for that matter, right? I think this looks good, right? I think we are done in here as to what we need. Now we want to change the colors and everything. So the first things first is going to be reducing this hue space. For example, I think the logo looks too big. I'm going to scroll down, and as you can see, this is 80. I'm going to make it like 70 something, right? I think this looks nice. And then I'm going to change the colors here. Now, the one thing that you will realize is this color is all pre-designed, right? So when you have selected the navigation menu, scroll up and go to the backgrounds and colors, right? Here you will find everything regarding colors of menus and submenus. Okay, so you can see if the background color is white, which is fine, right? The color here is black, which is again fine, that's fine. Hover background color is black. I'm going to turn that into white. All right, the hover text color is what I'm going to change it to. So if you see, I just wanted to make sure that I got the right color. So to get the right color, I'm going to use this tool called as ColorZilla. The ColorZilla is an extension tool that I use in order to identify color on landing pages, anything on the web, right? I'm going to click in here. I'm going to take the color of this particular logo, right? As you can see, the moment I keep the marker in here, I can actually see this particular color. So I'm going to click here and then I'm going to pick up that color here. Sorry, okay, it's already copied by the way, so I'm not to worry about it. Now let's go to the custom color. click on add, and then if you add it here, this is going to show as a particular color. Do you see that? I think this looks really nice. All right. So hover background color, we're going to keep it. Let me go back. We're going to keep it normal. Right. Hover text color is what we're going to change. So let's go to customs, and then as you can see, this is now changed. All right. Now, one thing that I want to change apart from this is going to be the size. I think the medium size is fine. If you make it semi bold, it's going to be, I think, too big. So the medium is, I think, quite fine. Same goes for the color for this colors for free code, because this also needs to change to the website or the logo branded color. So this is what is going to be for this one. Okay, this is more like a black. I'm going to take this color. It's not really black. So I'm going to take this particular color in here, right, and save it. The color automatically gets copied, so that's not an issue. So this color is already probably here. I'm going to save it, and here you go, right? This looks now something like how I have it here. So yeah, we're good. Now we have this button, right? I of course can click on it, on this, and add a color here, right? And that pretty much gives this a similar look. But now I also want to use a bit of CSS in order to make this really, really nice. So I'm just going to show you as to how to use. Right, we are back and we have the code that we wanted, right? So we have a headline code and then we have just a button code. That's it, right? As I said, I don't really like to use too much of code, so I think this should be good. I'm just going to show you as to what these codes are for. The first code is to have that gradient effect that you saw, right? The lighter color and then darker color. And the rest of it is that hover effect that kind of has a glazy effect, right? So I'm going to use this particular code. For that, I just need this particular text, which I'm going to save. And once saved, I'm going to go to the advanced section, and then I'm just going to go to the custom class. You can see on the right hand side, I'm going to end the custom class. This instantly gives this effect. Do you see that? I deleted it. It kind of is monocolor. Now I'm going to add it, and it becomes dual color, which looks really, really nice. All right. Now I'm going to add the second thing, which is the CTA button. This gives the glaze effect. So I'm going to save that again, go to the advanced section again, go to enter, class name, and then I'm going to add that here. You do not see any change now because it's a hover effect. So it's only when you hover on this, it kind of gives you this beautiful effect. So I really like it. But I think the spacing here is too much. I definitely need to do something on this one. Let me see if there is any space that we can work on this. I think we are good. The column is still has 10 pixels. I'm going to make it to like 3. Save that. I'm going to add it to the bottom as well. Same goes for the second column too, because both the columns have to have smaller spacing, only then the entire spacing is going to get changed. So yeah, as you can see, this looks better. Now we also still have columns, and columns are like 15 pixels. I'm going to make it 3 again, and then I'm going to make it 3 again. That's how it looks pretty nice. Now again we have it here 20. I'm going to reduce it down to 10. The bottom as well, I'm going to reduce it down to 10. Right, I think now we have a beautiful navigation top, just the way we have it here. Now the second thing that we need is this hero section, right? As you can see, this is quite wide and this has this background rolling. So let me quickly preview it. Right, as you can see, this is a video of this house being built under construction. You can clearly see the rooftops, how they are building it, the entire process, which is why I chose this video. You could also choose a video that where people are building the home, so that will also look really, really nice. So anything that's under construction, under making, which kind of gives people idea as to what it may look like or how the process will be, is a good video background to choose, because it just makes the entire site look so premium, right? So I think this should be good and we should be good using it. So the thing that we need to do it here is it's going to be a 1 row 2 column structure. Actually there will be multiple columns that we are going to use, because some of these is only 1 row, right, as you see here, but some of these are 2 rows. Oh sorry, 1 row and 2 column. Do you see them? Because in HighLevel natively you don't really have this feature of having multiple elements on the same column, right? So that's the reason why we have to use 1 row 2 column structure. Same goes for here. Actually we'll be using multiple columns. It's actually 1 row and 3 columns. Same goes for here as well, right? But yeah, it might just look complex, but I'm going to show it to you as to how this is going to work out. All right, so let's click on this plus icon and then have this full width. In this full width, I'm going to use this particular video. Now here's the thing, right? The background media type, as you can see at the bottom, has image and video. So I'm going to click on video here at the bottom and then get it, because if you click on images, it's only going to show you the images. So let me go inside and let me see what are videos I got. All right, I think I should be using this is the video. Let me just check. Yeah, I think this is the video. That's right. The video looks a bit pretty squeezed up, and I understand that. The reason for that is because the video options here is set to fit, right? We need to change that. So when you click on this, just make it cover, and that literally covers the entire available area, right? If you click it on fit, it's just going to drag it to a certain section depending on its own original width and height. If you click on fill, it's just going to squeeze everything up and try to fill itself within that particular boundary available. So the best thing will be it to cover so that it can independently expand, right, without impacting the width and the height. All right, I think that's pretty much the right way. Now click on add rows. So first of all, we're going to have, let's say, a 2 column row, right? And the first thing that we're going to have is particularly going to be an image, because as you can see, this 4.9 from 1550 Google reviews is an image. Now 1550 Google reviews is a far-fetched dream. I mean, this is a good nice to have, I would say something very amazing to have, right? So yeah, let's have it here. But this is an entire image, because we of course cannot add this kind of graphics inside the text. We still do not have that ability. So we kind of have to turn this entire thing into an image and then add it to our site. All right. So that's something that we need to do. Hold on, have we even created this? We haven't changed this yet, right? So I'm going to change that first, and then I'm going to come to this section. All right. So I'm going to go to submenus, right? Do you see submenu here? I'm going to go to submenu here, and then I'm going to change everything. We have menu, and then we have submenu, right? The colors here is going to be black is fine. The hover background color can be the color here. So this particular looks nice. But the thing that you see here is that this has the curvy background borders, right? And the color of the border is similar to brand color. So for that, we have to go to advanced, right? If you go to advanced, you'll be able to see borders and corners. In this, you can go to menus. For that, you have to change anything for menu. Here, we don't really need anything. The white is fine. We're going to go to sub menu. We're going to change this color. Again, as you can see, we do not have the option to choose a particular color into a palette. So I'm just going to use the color Zilla. I'm going to take that particular color, and then I'm going to basically just add it here. That's it. We are done. I'm going to make it 10 pixels. All right. And I think we're done. Just look at it. It looks exactly how we have it here. All right, let's move ahead for the next section, which is going to be the columns. Now here, of course, I need to add this particular image. So let me explain you as to what exactly this is. We have this image because, of course, we want to build trust, credibility, and right in front, even in the mobile screen, right? When you see on top of the fold, you will be able to see these 5 stars from 1550 Google reviews. It could be 200, it could be 100, it could be 1000, whatever the Google review is. And then we have this text, and then we have this subheadline. Now, this is the main headline, which is what the bold statement that, hey, we help you make the roofing simple, that results, no, and we are going to give you results that's going to last. Because one thing that people think is that, hey, this is going to be very, very complex process. They are not sure. Homeowners, are kind of looking for reliable partners or reliable businesses that can do their entire roofing for them. But they also understand this is going to be pretty complex. In order to mitigate that, we have mentioned here that, hey, roofing made simple, because ideally it's quite complex. The second thing that we have here is result that lasts. Because one of the major problems that people find, apart from having that hassle, uh, you know, led situation or condition for a few days where they have to build the entire roof. The other thing is that once the roof is built, it doesn't last, right? There is wind, there's some storm or something like that. It just doesn't last, right? There are leak holes, something like that happens, and because of which it needs to be repaired again and again. And that's exactly why results that last with the second line make so much sense. Now, once you understand, okay, we can help you make the roof or build the roof in a simple format, we will help you build something that's going to last for a very, very long period of time. then it's all about hiring us, right? And then exactly this is what we have on our subheadline. If you see here, from free inspection to flawless installation of your roof, hiring us is hassle free, fast, and done in just a few days, right? This will give more confidence to the visitor that, hey, these people not only make the entire process simple, they build quality stuff that can last for long. Not just that, they also are easy to hire. They give a free inspection and they will be available in just a few days, which is pretty interesting, right? Then you have two buttons, right? Because you want to give them multiple options. Since it's a website and not really a funnel, so I want to give them an option of book a free consultation, right? If they want, they can go and book a free consultation with us where our expert will help them. They can also explore our services. This will take them to the particular services page where all the services are going to be listed. All right. Then we have this trust badge. As you can see, we have a trusted seller. Now, this is a badge you can change, but this looks really really nice. And then we have 1550 people that got reviewed, that basically gave review to our business, right? And then in a very smart way, I basically created this image slider. This image slider look really nice because apart from the video at the background, it also shows them as to what it's going to look like when it's completed, done, and dusted, right? This is exactly the reason why I've added it, because this builds trust, credibility, and authority, which will help people convert. Either they can submit their lead or they can finalize their quotation, right? So even if you're a business that makes millions of dollars, if you do not have a website like this, then your conversions are getting lowered, because this website itself is going to help you sell more than any normal website. So that's the reason why you should have this kind of layout, especially for this kind of projects. All right, looks simple. Let's proceed forward in order to get this done. Okay, so now the first thing we want is this particular, you can see here, the Google review. Now the first thing I will do is I'll make sure the padding here is all 0, because I just don't like these unnecessary padding, because they are sure to make my project kind of a bit messy and misaligned as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and then I'm going to go to that image. Now, a lot of you ask me, Pritam, how about you showing us design tutorials? How about you build everything from literally from scratch, from ideation? Even if I have to do that, like this project itself, this is the homepage. I've spent over a week in order to, think about it, design it, customize it, literally everything that I will basically need. All right. So if I have to do it on a live video, it's probably going to take me weeks together, isn't it? I'm not sure if that's going to be a useful, you know, a good use of your time, but then I'll try to make something even more advanced. But as you can see, this layout itself is very advanced. You don't generally see these kind of layouts in HighLevel, and they look really, really stunning. Yeah, even the footer, like you haven't seen a footer like that. It looks really nice. But yeah, let's get that added. So we have added the image. We can't really see that for now. I'll give you a reason for that. But then we have this headline. We're going to add the headline here, right? Now, as you can see, we can't really see the graphic here, which is in white, and also this is going to be in white. Do you see that? So this is going to be in white, right? So again, not really visible, doesn't really look that great. Now, what do we need to do? We need to make the background a bit darker, right? So you can see there's something called as background color on the right hand side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here and I'm going to make it black. Right? That doesn't change anything because the opacity is 100%. So I'm going to go below and then you'll be able to see something called as background video opacity. Now, when you click on background video opacity, currently it's on none, right? But then I'm going to make this, half weight. The moment I make this half fade, the visibility or the opacity of this particular video becomes half, and because of which the background color, which is black, kind of shows up, making the entire video a bit darker. So even if you do not have a very dark video, you still can use this and use the GoHighLevel features that they have provided in order to get the result which you're looking for. I hope that makes sense. Right, let's go ahead and let's build some stuff there, right? So I'm not sure. So the size here looks quite big compared to the size here. Now I'm not really sure as to what exactly the size should be. The default size that GoHighLevel provides for any kind of headline is 32, but I'm sure this is much more than that. For that, the only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select the headline. I'm going to click on right click, and then I'm going to go to font details. This again, ladies and gentlemen, is a Chrome extension that is basically helps to understand what exactly is the font size, what exactly is the font family, all of that stuff. As you can see, this is a Poppins. It's 65 pixels, it's 700 in width, line height is 84.5 pixels, and these are the colors, right? So since it's 65 and 700, I'm going to make it 65. Looks nice. And then I'm going to make this 700, so the bold is 700, is fine. Doesn't look that great is because, it's too big to be fit in this particular column. So I'm going to drag it here a bit and then make it comfortable. Do you see that? This is the reason why we need to have a two column. We could also do it with one column, honestly. So I think we can do it. So just remove it there. This looks good as well. So let's keep it there. The next thing that we're going to do is this. We're going to have this particular subheadline. So let's go there, and then let's add a subheadline. Now the subheadline is basically a subheadline. Sorry for that, right? Because I was thinking about there's something else called as bullet points, right? But yeah, we're not going to use it here. I'm going to show it to you later on as to where we are using it. So we are going to make this white again, and then I'm going to add this text here, right? I'm just going to make sure this is not bold, right? And I think it's too big. The text here is not that big. So if I just make sure, just check this one. This is 18 pixels. Again, the video, just keep it here. The video should run back. Yeah, looks really nice. All right. This is going to be 18. Looks good. I'm going to add arrow icon. Sorry, not arrow, a correct icon, right? And then I'm going to change the icon color from black to any of these. All right, looks very nice. Now the second thing that I will need is these two buttons. Now let me understand. Let me help you understand one thing. Now till this we're working on a single row, two column structure, right? If you remember, we just deleted that second column. Now if we continue on this, we can literally have a button here, not a problem, right? But then if we try to add the second button, it will be below this. All right, it won't be beside this. Okay, so that's basically what we are trying to achieve, right? But in HighLevel, you cannot really set what exactly is going to be unless you use the preset conditions that GoHighLevel has provided. Now for that, what we're going to do is, let me delete this one. I'm going to create a new column, yes, and it's going to be a one row, two column structure. Here, I'm going to grab this button, add it here. Just want to make sure there is no pixels there, right? I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to add it here. That's it. Do you see that? Now two buttons are in the same row, right? And beside each other. Let's just drag it here and voila. You got the same kind of effect that you saw in here. Looks nice, isn't it? Now, what I'm going to do is, I think there's too much of space going on, so I'm just going to reduce some space if that's needed. I don't think that's needed, but yeah. The first call to action we have is book a free consultation, and that's basically what I'm going to write here. It is small. Yeah, it's small. All right. Book. Sorry. All right, you see that book a free consultation, right? As you can see, when the content just increases its quantity, it kind of gets into this kind of situation. So it's basically just nothing but a size issue. Just expand the site and this should be good. Click on that, go to animations, and then scroll down. This has something called as hover effect. Just click on that and click on elevate. Now this will give this hover effect elevation just the way we have it here. Notice one thing, it also has a white border which makes it really prominent in nature. So I'm going to click on here, right? I'm going to go to general. It is 16. I'm going to make it 20. I think 20 should be good. Unfortunately, we cannot check the size of the button. Okay, let's make it 18, right? And yeah, this is space. Go to advanced, and then as you can see, something called as borders in option on the right hand side. Now, there's no border selected as of now, but click in there and choose bottom border. Make it 3 pixels, and then from white black to make it white. All right, okay, sorry, I selected the column instead of the border. This is a mistake normally people do. So let's just stop it. Just select the button here, then go to advanced, then go to borders, then select the bottom border, make it 3 pixels, grab it, make it white. That's it. That's pretty much what you need to do. Let me select this button again and add it here again. All right. Now this is going to be explore services. So this is going to be explore our services. Looks nice, but icon here needs to change. So I'm going to click in here and click into a person. Yeah, a person. Yeah, that's right. Explore our services. Now this CSS. Now, I mean, even if I make this background as white, this won't affect anything because we have a CSS applied to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to advanced and then I'm going to delete the C button. All right. Now, if you see there, this is how it looks, right? It doesn't look bad by the way, but I'm going to make this, you know, covered. The border should be on everywhere on the left, right, and top, bottom. I'm going to select that. I'm going to go to advanced and then I'm going to make sure this is full border. This will allow this in order to have the full border. Do you see that? I think this looks pretty nice now. All right. This looks good. Yeah, I think this will work well. The one that I need to, okay, I'll fix the spacing just after some time. Let me add everything here. Now, the next thing that you see here is a trust badge, which is again, now you cannot really add a trust badge in here because, for example, if you try adding a trust badge in here, then it's going to elevate this entire thing, which is not what we are looking for. And also, it's not going to be good for mobile. So let's just delete it and let's just add another column. It can be a single column, doesn't really matter, right? Let's just the reason why I'm duplicating that image is because it already the padding here is already removed, so that's going to help me save some time, right? But yeah, this video is going to be really big, so make sure you watch the video till the end or save it and use it later on, right? All right, let's go in here and then let's see as to where we have the trust badge. So we have the trust badge here. Okay, this is too big. I'm just going to make it, I don't know, 45. 45 should be good. Or let's say make it 50. Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, the next that we have here is these kind of sliding images, which is very, very convenient because when people come here and they see, okay, this is how the site looks. Now, if they see that the background here is kind of revolving, which is looking nice, but then if the sliding image is what is going to show them the actual footage, right? So I'm going to add that here as well. I'm going to create a 3-column structure and then I'm going to click on add an element and I'm going to search image slider. Sorry, the spelling should be correct, of course. The image slider, and then I'm going to drag and drop it in here. Looks nice, right? But I think it's too big. It's surely too big. I'm just going to make it 300, right? Looks nice. I'm going to go to advanced section, right? There are a lot of things that you can do here. Let me just show it to you. In general, the name is image slider, of course, and then you have slides. You have like 8 slides. You can add as many as you want, so that's not an issue. And then when you scroll down, every single slide, for example, now you've selected slide 1, and every single slide has an image here which we need to upload, a CTL link, which basically means if you click on it, what exactly happens, right? So CTL link can be, you can add any kind of link. It can open a tab in the current window or it can open a new tab. All right. So for example, if you want people to click on this particular link and go to a particular service, people can do that, right? And this is unique for every single images, which basically means that the first URL can be, for a particular service. The second image can be a particular service. So like that, you can still segregate. And it also has an optimized image. So I kind of always turn this off. I think 300 is also too much. Let me just reduce it to around 270. That should make it look nice. I think it's still too much. 230. I think that should be good. That should be good. Now, that's pretty much regarding the general settings. Let's go to advanced ones. In the advanced one, this is where you have the magic here. We have all the spacing, the borders, the corners, the shadows, the pagination, like literally the slide arrows, animations, everything. All right. Now, let's go in the settings section here. We have all this spacing. I'm just going to turn this off, or I'm going to make the 10 pixels as 0. Looks good. Now, I'm going to scroll down here. Thickness border is 0. I'm going to make it 2. I think 1 should be good. I think 2 should be good. The border color here, change it to the color that's available with me here. Right? More advanced. Perfect. It looks like it kind of gave it a white texture. I'm going to change that again. I'm going to try and get the. Okay. I think I got it this time. Let's go to advanced. Perfect. Looks like I got it. Looks nice. Corner, I'll just make it 10 or in 15, I guess, for that fact. Right? Pagination is fine, right? I want to make it slimmer. like this. Size is 10 is fine. You can make it like 20 if you want. Like, just increase the size. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna change that. We're not gonna have so many images, so that's fine. Include arrows is fine. Slide, auto animate, slide every 5 seconds is fine. Infinite loop is fine. Pause and hover. No, don't pause and hover. I think that's pretty much it, right? And then I'm going to remove all these slides. So we have like 8 slides. I'm going to remove from the fourth. You can have as many as them, right? So if you have some good ones, for example, if you have like 10 good ones, you can always add these 10 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one, and then I'm going to click on image slider, which is the first one that's selected. I'm going to go in there, and then I'm going to upload a bunch of good images of my solar roofing final look, and then I'm going to add them up. For example, if I click on here, as you can see, that got added. I'm going to click on slide 2, turn off the image optimization, which was earlier turned on by default. Click in here and then just go ahead, the solar roofing, go to the one where my images, and then click that one. All right, looks nice. Let's go to the third one again, solar roofing. All right, and then you have it here. Perfect. This is exactly how I'm going to do it because I think this looks pretty fantastic. I really like it. All right. So now just duplicate it, right? And then add it here. That's pretty much what you got to do. I think it's still too big. This is not, I mean, what we had it here is very, very small. So I'm just going to make it like, I don't know, I think 180 should be good, right? And the width should be like 250, right? I think this is the one that we're looking for. Just going to turn this like this, delete this, have it here, copy it. Okay, I think we deleted. Let me just go back. All right, I think we deleted it. The image. I'm going to turn that back again. Yeah, I'll just show it to you. All right, so let's go back and let's have it here. All right, as you can see, I just duplicated and deleted the other ones. I'm just going to quickly replace the images here. As you can see, I'm doing it with you guys. So yeah, just make sure that you watch the complete video. Click on here, add the images. This really, really takes time, especially when you're teaching. So yeah, I mean, it literally took me weeks, honestly, to get this entire thing up and running. At least even just the homepage, by the way. I'll still be creating a lot of other these pages on the entire site. So just make sure that you stay tuned for all the other pages too. All right, as you can see, this is how exactly it's going to look like, and this looks fantastic. Now, the one thing that doesn't look fantastic is the spacing. It's kind of off, isn't it? Look at this and look at this, right? It's because of the spacing, right? If you get the spacing correct, everything is going to look amazing. So if you just click on in here, and you can see that by default we have 20 pixels. I'm going to make it 100 literally, right? There's also some spacing in here from roofing to in this particular truss badge. I'm going to click here, and then on top of it, I'm probably just going to like 40 pixels or just 20 pixels if that's too much. All right. Then there's some spacing in here as well. So I'm just going to add 20 pixels here. There's too much of spacing in them. That is because of the pre-built spacing inside the columns. So I'm just going to make it like 5, and also just want to make it 10. I think that should be good. Let me just reduce the spacing in here just so that it looks nice. All right, the footer of this particular column, this green section that you see here, should also be 100. So let me just do that as well. And I think it looks good. The CSS are working fine. This is working fine. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's a text here that has this particular color, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in here, get the H1 again gradient. So by the way, I've shared with you a lot of CSS that I normally use on my projects on this GoHighLevel tutorial YouTube videos. So just make sure that you search the CSS or go to the CSS playlist and just use all of them. Okay, add it here, which is H1 gradient. And now the only thing I'm going to do is I have to just take the entire thing here and just add underline. That's it. This is going to give the effect of that, right? Looks really nice. I think this looks fantastic. Let me quickly, so it's auto saving as you can see here on the top. So quickly going to preview it and let me see as to how good this looks. Perfect. I think this looks really, really nice. I think I really like it, right? I think this is how exactly we have in here as well. So yeah, I think this looks really nice. All right, let's go to the second section, right, which is a classic one row, two column structure where you have that image on the left hand side and then text on the right hand side. And the one thing that you will be able to notice that this color at the background is not really white. It's more of a grayish, greenish kind of tone. And I have added it because I don't really want to make it a blank site. One more thing that I want have added is this particular graphic that I've really worked upon. As you can see, this is a person, right, a roofer who's already fixing the entire roof. We have a very beautiful border in here because the text here is why homeowners trust us with their roof. And that's the reason why we are showing a person who's basically fixing or creating the new roof or building the new roof, right? At the bottom, you see here that the background, there's another photo which kind of makes it look like 3D, like a stack of images. Even though if you click on it, nothing really happens, but it looks really, really nice, as if somebody has kept a stack of photo cards on this particular website. You also see these kind of effects, like this is kind of a 3D card, which makes it again beautiful. We also have this badge called as best choice, something like that. Again, I added it because I really like adding trust badges. It makes it looks really, high converting, and it actually people genuinely trust these badges as well. So all of this is always a trust booster, right? So this is basically the graphic that I've created, not just one picture, multiple graphics combined together with multiple effects has created this particular section. Now let's go ahead and have understand what exactly is the other column here. Now, this section is to why they should be or why homeowners should be hiring us roofers as their primary business in order to get their roof reconstructed or newly created. Now, as you can see, why homeowners trust us, and then we have given them understanding as to why they should be doing it. So we make roofs stress free because the most important thing, as you've also mentioned on the top, is that this is very not simple. It is complex. This is utterly difficult, messy sometimes because there's a big thing involved in it. So we are going to make this stress free, from handling your insurance claim to pairing you with certified local contractors. You relax, we handle the entire heavy lifting. You only pay for it, and then you are going to get the final rooftop that you're supposed to get anyway, right? That's there. And then we're also giving them the reasons for that. We have transparent pricing, so no hidden fees, just honest codes, free inspection, and cost effective solution. Then we have certified insurance expert, our licensed engineers and skilled roofers have years of experience delivering top quality work that you can rely on because the quality is going to be great. The third thing is end-to-end project management, every damage assessment to final installation. We handle everything so you don't have to chase anyone down. And then we have this particular graphic as well. So let me show it to you as to how to create this as well. Yeah. Let me go inside the account, right? Now this is fine. Okay. Click on this plus button that you have it here. Again, we definitely need the full width. I'm going to scroll down in here, and then we're going to have a one row, two column structure. Now in this one row, two column structure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this background color. Now notice that I'm not adding the background color on top of exactly, yeah, top of this color, because if I change any color here, for example, if I just make it red, everything becomes red. If I make it black, everything becomes black, right? So I'm not changing anything in here. All right, sorry, I'm just making it white. Yeah. So I'm not changing anything in here. The only thing that I'm going to change is the color, which is subjected to this particular section only. The way you do that is you select the section, and then in the section settings, you see something called as background color. Here it is set to transparent and can literally be changed to any color you want, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to open my Colorzilla, which is my color picker, and then I'm going to, literally just add it anywhere on the background. This is going to give me and copy it to my clipboard automatically. I'm going to click here, go to the color, background color. I'm going to go to custom colors. I'm going to click on add, and then I'm going to, from hexa here, I'm going to select hex code, and then literally I'm going to add this and save it. This is going to give me that custom color that I was looking for. All right. Now here I want to add an image. So I'm going to basically add an image here. Now this section might look a bit complicated because you think that this is one, and within this we also have this particular thing which is huge, right? This is not supposed to be a part of it here, but then I think this looks seamless as well as good. But then let me tell you one thing, this entire thing you see in here is a separate section. You don't have to worry about it at all. So let's just go back to the section here. We've already added the image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, close the image optimization of course, click on here and get that particular graphic. As you can see, I have the graphic here. This looks really, really nice. Again, it's much better because whenever you're working with us in PB Digital, we always make sure that the graphics, the videos, not just the videos you have to provide, the look and feel of the videos, as you can see here, right? As with the graphic, the text, the CSS always looks top notch, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it here. It looks really nice, but then again, there's a lot of spacing that I'm going to reduce here because I do not need any kind of these default colors or default spacing that you can see here. So I'm going to turn all of their absolutely turned off, and then I'm going to add these text here, right? All right. So let me see as to what the size of these text are by clicking on font, which is 45 pixels. So I'm just going to click on add. I'm going to add the headline font here again, and then I'm going to, you can add a subheadline as well, which is not, I mean, we are not making SEO optimized, but then you can make it a subheadline, which also works. How much was this? This was around 45. So I'm going to go in here and just want to make it 45. Right. Anybody who's watching my videos and you think that this is overwhelming, I can understand that. So what you need to do is you need to watch them in parts, right? First you need to implement what you see and then implement again and then go proceed forward to the next part of the video, proceed forward to the next part of the video, implement it, and then do this in repeat. That's exactly how you learn slowly and steadily. All right. If any question, just reach out to me over on the comment section. I'll be happy to help you out or answer in any way I can. All right, awesome, guys. So let's see what's the size of the subheadline. This is 18 pixels and we're still using Poppins. I hope you're using Poppins everywhere. Yes, we're using Poppins. So just let's make it 18, right? All right, it looks good. It definitely has some spacing. I'll take care of that. And then we also have this divider, and then we have this kind of pointers. Now, the difference between this pointer or this button tool and this pointer button tool is that for this we are using a subheadline, and for this we are using a bullet pointer. All right. So let's go back. Let's add something called as divider. As you can see, this is a drag and drop divider. Just make it 2 pixels so that it looks nice. Just change the color by going to from default to customs. Then here you go. That's the color. Now we're going to add all these icons or all these pointers. So click on divide. Okay, now we have something called as bullet list. I'm going to take that in here and add it. And then I'm going to add this particular text. As you can see, the moment you copy it, kind of looks like this. But yeah, not an issue because you can always make the changes. All right. Now let's see as to what the size of this pointers, which is 18 pixels. So I'm just going to make sure that this is 18. Now I think they are a bit onto each other. They're kind of two lines. I want to add some spacing into this. So for that, I have to go to advanced section, and then there's something called as line height. I'm going to make it 1.2 and see how does that look. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go and run with it. Now, a few things I'm going to change is spacing. I think spacing is too much in here, so I'm going to make sure and go back to spacing. The best part about these are once you make changes in one particular element, you can literally copy and make changes to the rest of it as well. So I'm just going to make it like say 5. Also want to make it like 5, right? And then instead of 20, I'm going to make it like 10, a 0, and then I'm going to make it 10. All right. Now you have this check mark. I don't really like this check mark. Kind of looks like ClickFunnels. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add correct here. So that's what I'm going to add in here. Okay. Now the transparent pricing is blurred. This particular check icon has a different color, which I'm going to check in here and see as to what exactly the color is. Okay, I got the color. And then we have 3 kind of points here. So I'm just going to add this color here. Don't really duplicate first. Let's first add every color that we are looking for, and then we can make sure that we get everything changed. All right, from hex to make it hex, just go in here, save it, add it. Awesome. Now just select everything and make it change the color from custom to our brand color. Perfect. Duplicate it 3 times. That should give you the space for the rest of it. Perfect. Now let's also make this bold. Nice. Let's go to the third point here, end-to-end project management. Let's and select that, and then let's add it here as well. Yep, just make sure that it's properly aligned. Sometimes you kind of get that kind of glitch. It happens from time to time. That's fine. Select here. Okay. Now this is how it looks, very, very similar to what we already had. Now we also wanted a trust badge in here. So as you can see, this trust badge is designed to have on a darker background, because that's the reason why the trust badge here is of a white color nature. Now we need to have a trust badge that's of a darker color nature so that it can look nice. I'm just trying to drag it down, guys. As you can see, this is now automatically getting dragged down. Awesome. Now as you can see, you can't really see it because you need the darker version of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and then add a darker version of it. All right, this is probably it. Yeah, here you go. Then I'm going to add some spacing in here and also some spacing on the top. I think this looks nice. Looks really good. Okay. Now, as you can see, the spacing on the top and the bottom is only 20 pixels. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make sure that the spacing looks nice, at least on the top. So that is going to be 100 pixels. Right. Now, not why not really bottom? Because the bottom here has another section with the same branding, same background. Now, just to make sure that the space here or the difference here is not too much, that's the reason why I'm not adding it as of now. So that's pretty much how it works for these two sections. I think it looks really nice. Now, I think, and I'm not sure, you guys can tell me, I think this image looks a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is, since there is no restriction on the height, it's basically taking the entire width and height available in this particular column, right? So what I'm going to do in here is, since without restricting them on height or width, I'm going to add a negative margin. This will allow the image to go beyond its boundaries, and then it will be able to expand because there is no limit to it, right? And that's exactly how you change and tweak GHL system in order to make stunning projects. All right. So that's pretty much for this, right? The next section is going to be this particular gigantic section, which kind of looks out of the world, right? So let's get into it. All right, guys, here we are. Let's complete this particular section. And after that, we have to complete this stunning video background section. And then we have this beautiful section for the steps and trust. And then we have this beautiful call to action section again, some testimonial stuff, FAQs, and this beautiful footer as well. A lot of amazing sections to build. Let's get started by building this one first. Now, this might look like a seamless, extension of this particular section, but exactly is not. This is additional section with the background image and then the text and everything on top of it, right? So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to have a new section here. Just going to have a new section there. We are going to use a background image. Now let me help you understand what exactly the background image does, or what part of it is the background image, right? Let me grab that particular. I see it here, right? So this is the background image. As you can see, this the entire thing, including the background color that I matched with this particular top background color, is the background image, right? And everything that you see here is on top of it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a one row, two column structure. I'm going to duplicate the headlines here because I'm going to have something in here. Sorry, not in here. Here. Now, as you can see, the more width you have, so the more height you have on this particular section, the more visible is going to be the background. So just want to make it full centered, right? The text here, let's see to what exactly is the font detail. So this is 68 pixels. I'm just going to copy it and then I'm going to save it. This is going to be 68 pixels. I just want to make sure that the spacing is correct. Absolutely amazing. I think this looks amazing, right? Then we have this divider and then this particular text. So let's get a divider. So as you can see, we already have these elements. So we are not going back into the add an element and then adding it back. Instead of that, we're just copying it here and then we are adding it back. All right. So let me just add it back. This is not really 100%. As you can see on the right hand side, we've had it 100%. Let me just make it 50% and slide it towards the left. That should be good. Now I need the text here, so I'm just copying the headline again here, subheadline here. I'm just going to drag and drop. I really like dragging and dropping because that's why GHL is a good builder for me to use. Let's drag and drop. It's as simple as that. All right, so this is bold. Let me just make sure it's unbolded. And then we have this free consultation button. This button, if you see, it's very similar or exactly the same as this button. So I'm just basically going to do it, drag it. Because it slowly it kind of scrolls down, right? Yep, yep. It reached the destination. Let's add some padding on the top. Let me see if that's 20 pixels should look good. I think that should look good. And then we have these beautiful sliding sections. These are basically nothing but these two sliding sections that we had. I think the, you know what, we'll just go to advanced, right? I think the 2 pixels of thickness, I think that's too much. Let's just make it one, all right? Just make it one. They're very small. We'll just make it one. Okay. So this is the same thing that you see in here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the entire thing, right? I'm going to select the entire thing and then I'm going to drag the entire column right here, right? That way you could just literally make things easy for you to handle. All right. Okay. So I think that, but the only difference here is the sizing. Sizing here is more. So because it's more like a gallery. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that particular slider. I'm going to go in here and then I'm going to make it like 270. Sorry, I'm going to make it like 270. And weight, I'm going to make it like 300. Okay, fine. 400. Perfect. Looks amazing. So what exactly 270 and 400? Let's change it back to 270 and let's make the width as 400. Looks good. Let me just drag down. Perfect. Till it overstretches, of course. Then let's make sure the spacing in between these are good enough. 20 should be good. Right, as you can see, this looks now pretty similar to what it is here, isn't it? There are a bit of spacing issues, of course. I think if we can add a bit more spacing or just from this particular section, that should also be good. Yeah, looks nice. I think this looks nice. Okay, let's add some spacing on the footer as well. As you can see, the footer here is only 40 pixels. So just we're gonna add it like 60 or 80. Yeah, that will give this enough room to breathe. And if we just stay saving automatically, let it save here, as you can see on the top. Okay, let me just preview it and you will see. So this is what we already have, right? And then this is the updated version. Let me scroll down. Looks look good. Let me scroll down. The image hasn't been loaded. Let me just wait for the image to load. Let me just make sure everything is loaded properly. All right, so we are not previewing it. Just kind of saving and then it's going to preview the entire thing here. Okay, for some reason the image is not getting loaded. We're just going to check on that. Looks like there's an image issue that's not being loaded. I'm definitely going to check on that. And then, all right, guys, looks like the image has been loaded. Let me just quickly check. Right, as you can see, we now have this particular section here just the way we had it here, right? Looks absolutely similar. We still have some spacing in here. The right way of adding some spacing on that is going to be simply just adding some pixels. So if we add some pixels, no, I think 20 is fine. I would just like to add some pixels on top of this one. So we have 26. I just want to make it 40. That should be good. And at the bottom also, instead of 80, I would like to just make it 100. I think this is going to give us a great pixel related. Okay, this is going to give us that kind of spacing that we're looking from here. Yeah, it's a bit better, right? I would say like we still have like few pixels, but yeah, it's very similar to what we have here, right? I think this looks absolutely stunning as well, right? That's pretty much regarding this section, right? So we've built a lot of it. Now we can proceed forward to create this amazing, beautiful section. I think this is one of my favorite sections out here because it just looks really nice, right? It shows as to, you know, like the inaction, right? At the same time, the person in action. At the same time, you also see that what kind of services we provide, right? So a person doing the service at the back end, video, and then showing as to what you provide. It's a classic mix of a attention grabbing section, right? All right, let me quickly show it to you as to how I'll be doing it. So I'll have a section which is a new section full width just like this, and then I'll have this particular copy here and then this button and this graphic here. So this is primarily going to be a one row two column section. So I'm going to basically have this and then I'm going to add the text. I'm just going to copy the text from here. All right, just let me check. Yep, I'm just going to copy the text from here and drag it to my, all right, as you can see, I'm slowly dragging it down, right? All right, we have it here. Let me just add it professional and quality roofing services. I just want to make it capitalized just so that it looks nicer. But then again, I think the, The font details is going to show up what exactly is the pixel size. Here it is 52. Now our current pixel size is 68, which is the reason why this is not looking great. So I'm just going to drag this as well. Now it looks nice, right? It kind of shows as to view all services. Now the reason why this section shows view all services is because, first of all, it's a service section. You can see the person, completing the service. You can see all the services being mentioned here. So yeah, it makes sense to have the button for, explore our services. Here it will be view our services. That's pretty much it. Now let me drag that particular button here. Nice. I'm just going to make it like right aligned. All right. And this is going to be view all services. Okay. So just scroll down. Instead of book a free consultation, it will be view all our services. And then instead of a phone, it's going to be a check mark. All right. Looks nice. In addition to this, I'll still need this particular graphic because I want to, increase the trust effectiveness of this particular page. So that is going to be important. Let me just add that up. Yeah, I'm just dragging it down slowly. As you can see, constantly dragging it down. I got that added. All right, this is again going to be right hand side. Here I'm going to add some spacing on the right hand side just so that it looks nicer. Yeah, let me just add some spacing too from the graphic and the button. That looks even better. This should be in white, and then this particular effect should be in here. So as you can see in the advanced section, we have this H1 gradient, and then I'm going to just add that H1 gradient in here so that I can focus on professional, and I'm going to turn that on with that underline, and then I'm going to change the color to white. Okay, might not look great, but it will the moment I add this video background. So let me go ahead and try adding the video background in here. Right, so this is pretty much this one, I assume. Okay, no, not this one. This is the wrong video, guys. Let me go back. Okay, probably this one. Yeah, this is the one. I just want to make it cover, right? So that it covers the entire thing. And then I'm going to make the background as black. I am going to make the background opacity as light faded. I think it's already looking really, really nice. But yeah, I'm just want to make sure that, I have some spacing on the top, which is going to be 100, at the bottom, which is again going to be 100. Not just that, now we need a lot of sections, but for we also need this particular subheadline. So professional and quality roofing services, and then this is the CTA line. Looks nice. Let's have this subheadline copied and then dragged at the bottom of this section. Let's get this in white color and then let's make it correct. All right, we just made it corrected. Looking great. Yep. Let me add the text in here. So yeah, our company provides all types of roofing and repair services. Let me just add a 10 pixel of that. I think this looks perfect. I really like it. Now we need a transparent, pricing or sorry, services section like this one, where we have free inspection, that is service number 1. We have commercial roofing, service number 2. We have roof placement, service number 3. We have solar panels, service number 4. We have damage repair, service number 5. We have roof renovation, service number 6. All right, unique, beautiful, transparent icons, headline, a divider, and then a point just highlighting the main headline. All right, this is how it works. Let's get this done. The way you should be getting this done is very simple. Create a 3-column row, right? Add a particular image to it. I'm just going to add an image here. Make sure that optimization is turned off. Make sure that it is of 0 pixels. So let's get that removed from here. All right. Now, since that's removed here, the size, let's finalize the size to be 50 and 50, and then make it towards the left. All right. So first is free inspection. Let me get that written down. Right. I just want to use a subheadline. I just want to make sure this is left. This is 26 or 28, something like that. Just make it white. Right. Let me just add free inspection in here. Just make sure this is not bold. Then we have this particular divider. Let me see if I have a divider here. Yes, I have a divider. The reason why I'm just duplicating and grabbing them instead of literally dragging from the element is because I don't want to change the color and everything else. It is sometimes a hassle. I won't disagree to it, but yeah, it just works for me sometimes. All right, let's remove the checkbox because we definitely don't need that. Let's the text here because we definitely need that. Let's understand what exactly is the font size. That's 18 pixels. What exactly is the font size for this? That's 28 pixels. All right. So we have 18 pixels here, 28 pixels here. I think that was perfect. Okay, let's remove the spacing in here. I think this looks good. Let's also add some pixels of spacing in here. Let's add the graphic in here. All right. So first is going to be free inspection, which is going to be an inspect roof icon. Let's grab that particular icon from solar. Should be below somewhere at the bottom. Here you go. That's it. Does this look similar to this one? Yeah, I think pretty much yes. Let's just give some space from the top, right? I think we have a lot of space. We need a lot of space, so I'm just going to duplicate this section because I don't want to keep adding and dragging. Rather, I would like to replace. That just makes more sense. I'm going to check here. I'm going to add some spacing here. So let's say 20 pixel is fine. This also 20 pixel is fine. Yep. Now let's commercial roofing, right? Commercial roofing added. Now let's this particular line here for the second point. Yeah. Now GoHighLevel has this issue when you duplicate when you're basically copying something and then duplicating it and adding it. It kind of becomes bold for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, it just works. So that's fine for me. Probably these are signature statements by HighLevel. Who knows, right? They're like, okay, if you have to work with my builder, this is how exactly it's going to be. Right. I think that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and we're going to add the commercial roof and then the roof replacement there. So let's check if we have the icon for commercial roof. We do, and then check for the roof replacement. Do we have it for that? Let me quickly check in there. We do. We do have it. So that's yes. Now the second thing, the second row is going to be solar panels, right? So these guys do pretty much everything, isn't it? They do solar panel, they do every kind of roof basically. That's what they are an expert for, just like how we do funnels, right? We don't do everything in HighLevel, but yeah, we the pros comes to funnels. So yeah, we got that covered. We got that done. All right. Then we have damage repairs. We have damage repairs. That's done. And then let me just add some of the text. Right. Right. Then we have a roof renovation. Let me add the roof. So we earlier had a roof replacement. Now we kind of have a roof renovation. Both are very different things. So we got them added as well, just to make sure that they are not bold. All right, and then solar panels graphics needs to be changed. Let me get that changed too. Again, I'm not kind of not seeing my folder. Let me quickly grab that again. I'll just review them, just show that it, just to make sure it's working perfectly fine. Perfect, looks good in here. Scroll, looks great, looks great, looks great. Awesome. Let the page load. I think this looks really nice, right? Exactly how we have it here. Just that our ones is a bit bigger, and I think this looks nice. This looks really, really nice. All right, guys. Let me see if I can grab some of the images. So the first one we have is solar panels in there. So let's get the solar panels. Then we have damage and repair. Let's get that added too. All right, damage and repair got added. Roof renovation. All right, do some renovation on the roof as well. Scroll down, scroll down. We got that added too. All right, this makes it a great and amazing section for services, right? Now it's all about how we do it, right? We do it in three simple steps, which is personalized assessment, professional execution, full supervision, and cleanup, right? As you can see, beautiful graphics there, 24, 28 years of service, kind of showing people our journey and all that stuff. Looks really nice. So yeah, this is going to be simple yet one row, two column structure for which we'll need full width, we'll need two columns, we'll need graphic image for sure. Let's take that. Okay, the background color remains what it was. Okay, is this white? I think this is white. Okay, I don't think this is the previous color we used. Let me just check. Yeah, this is white. This is 6F, which is the hex code of white. So I think that's fine. Let's put the image in there. All right, perfect. Beautiful image of the clients. This is not really white. It's gray basically. This is white. All right, yeah. Then protect your home. Start at the top. All right, this is what it says. I'm just going to copy this. I just want to make sure that I get everything dragged down. It sometimes can be a hassle, guys. I'm not really joking, but then it is what it is. I'm slowly dragging it down. How much should be the pixels of this? I think 45, 48. All right, 60. This is too much, right? Just make it 48. Perfect. There is also something called this text, which basically explains as to they are a good choice while protecting your roof. And exactly, we are going to be adding that as well. All right, let me add that up as well. Got it. So that's added now. We also have this divider which we're going to add. Now we have something. These are these sections where you have an image on the left and then you have text on the right. And then this is basically the headline of the text. And this is the subheadline. This is called as what exactly it was called. Let me just get this added. Then I'll tell you. All right. Let's make this. Should we make this 100? Yes. Should we make? We should make this 100%. Okay. That's called image. Sorry, image feature. Yeah, that's right. That's called image feature. Sorry, I almost forgot. Right, that's called image feature. Right, and then we have to change a lot of things in this image feature. First of all, it's in bold. We're gonna make this normal. This text, which is the subheadline, is also bold. We're gonna make this normal as well. So I'm just gonna change every all of this. We're gonna add all of this. All right. Let me get that added too. And then we have this personalized assessment, professional execution, full supervision, and cleanup. All right, let me get that added here. Then our certified team, and then you have step 3. All right, so that's added. Let me add the text as well. Looks great. Okay, now we need to add these images. The images can be huge, but the way would be for us to this is what we can literally just the size with. So we just go back, just see if we have the graph. Think about it. If just the homepage takes me so much time to create for you guys, think about how time consuming this would be when I'm creating it from scratch and also designing it at the same time, right? It's crazy. It's literally crazy. Takes weeks for me to do it. Even this particular project took me like weeks, guys. Right? It's just that I just wanted to get some courses out here on my YouTube, and probably I'll have some more, so don't worry about it. It's not going away. It's basically is going to stay, but based on the time limit I have, I was just free for almost a week. I just thought let me get some, projects done specifically for people who watch my YouTube videos. So this is for you guys. All right, looks good. Actual spacing. We have enough space, guys, so not to worry about that. We have enough space. Looks really, really nice. Right, let me quickly give it to a preview. Yeah, looks really nice. I think I really like it. Perfect. Let me just complete the preview. Perfect. Looks nice. Scroll down. Looks perfect. Looks beautiful. Looks amazing. Stunning. Okay, let's proceed forward. The next section would be about more like a call to action, right? This basically, hey, do you need your roof work done? Let's get it today. We are trusted by over 1,500 happy customers, 20 years of experience. Book your free consultation under 30 seconds, and this is where the button is. So basically, just a big CTA section. Just look at it. This entire section is like a roof, right? It's like a built-on roof, which is huge. All right, this is going to be a two-column section, right? We have text here, so let me just copy the text here. All right, and then let's meet the points here. Let me just add some spacing on top of it as well, but I think this looks really funky. All right, okay, so we haven't changed the text here as well. Let me just change the text. Think about the copy that kind of takes so much time as to what goes where, it just time consuming, but that's fine. Because at the end of the day, if the quality of the work is good, I think people are anyway ready to pay for it. It just makes personal experience. If your quality of the work is great, people are going to pay for it. And some don't, that's fine, but most will, which is what we're looking for, right? And people who can't afford, which is also fine because not everybody can, in that case, that's when my YouTube videos comes in the picture. Right? They are literally the best source available, to help you out learning about higher levels so that you can do it on your own. And when you need somebody's or our help, just reach out to us. That's it. And it's a win-win all both ways. So yeah. Also, most of my clients are busy getting and working and growing their business, not really, bothered about spending years to learn funnels or sites. So yeah, that just makes it, helps understand as to why people are going to hire you anyway. All right. So now we have a text as well. Okay, I'm going to add the image image here on the button later on. Let the background image because that's important. Let me go back because this is a big graphic and this entire thing is going to be a background. So let's scroll down and yeah, here we go. We have it here. Looks nice, but then this is make it full. Here basically what you need to do is nothing but just duplicate this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That should do most of it. Let me just add the button too. What exactly? This is a book a free consultation call. All right, but this is in black color, not really gradient color. So we don't really need the CSS in there. So I'm just going to remove all that. I'm going to add a call icon in there, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally, gosh, remove the book color, go to general, go to the background color, and literally change it to the background dark color. Do you see it here? Right, that's what I'm looking for, honestly. Right, and then I also have this trust badge image that I'm going to add. Awesome. I think it looks good. Perfect. I think this is a good to go for this section. Let me quickly save it and preview it and see as to how that looks. Because the next section is going to be about testimonials. Beautiful testimonial section that we are going to create. Then we'll create FAQ sections and then this beautiful footer section. All right. Let me get that previewed. Looks amazing. Looks amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Need to work down. Let's get it fixed today. Okay. One thing that's still missing is fix it today. Do you think this needs CSS? It's not. It won't need CSS at all. So let me just make this short. Let me just increase the size to 58, right? And then fix it today. Now, if you are on the new funnel builder, just go if it's still not yet live. In some most cases, it will be live. Depends on when you're watching the video. If not, just go to the lab section and change the color picker, right? If you change it, then this is going to show up, and then this is going to be like this. So without CSS, you could do that. This was a much requested feature for like literally years. Like I've been with CS and high level making funnels for like last 4.5, 5 years now. So yeah, since 2021. So yeah, I mean, I've seen it all in most cases at least. Right. All right. Looks nice, beautiful, amazing effect. The entire site is pretty stunning at the moment. Let's proceed forward and let's get some testimonials for our clients. All right. So we have a testimonial section here. Now this again is a one row, two column section. As you can see, this is a one row, two column section. Of course, the width of the columns are not same. For this one, it's more than this, but however, these exactly the same. So what we're going to do is, first of all, the background needs to be white. I'm going to turn this into white. Then I'm going to add a one row, two column structure. Then I'm going to add text in there, right? I'm going to copy it. I'm just going to drag. All right. So you got the text there, which basically says, see what our clients have to say. And let me check out what the font size is going to be. This is going to be 52 pixels. 52 pixels, sorry, not 400, 4552, just 52. Okay, 52 pixels. Perfect. Just we'll save it here. But this might not look great because it's second line, but now this is where it looks nice. Then we also have some pointers regarding that, hey, we're proud to be trusted by hundreds of homeowners and all that stuff, which is amazing. But then I need to drag this down in order to get that added. You see in there? We are proud to get all this. So all these are important in order to build trust credibility. You just can't use the same kind of funnels and landing pages every again and again. Innovation is the key. I hope you're innovating. If not, it's going to be a messy situation in the future. Right. A lot of people say that AI is going to take your job. I don't know how many of you guys believe in it, but I think some of it will. Do you see this image here, this graphic of this particular rooftop? Do you think it's real? It's not. It's AI generated, right? Isn't that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it looks so realistic, correct? So that's the thing, right? If you need to know high level, I mean, know design, know funnels. At the same time, you should know graphics and all that stuff. Like there's so much things that you need to know. It's bonkers on already. All right, we need one more section of headline. It says 1500. Okay, one thing is that the background is not really white in our real site. So this is this gray color. Yeah, and this is 1550. Let me add the text as well. I need to add some text. I don't really need any kind of icon. This should be good. This should be on the right hand side and I'll make it like 82. I don't know if that's perfect. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to make it 16. That's fine. I also need this graphic, which is the 5 stars on top. So I'm just going to choose this particular graphic to be imitated. Yep. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the 5 star up and running. Also, I'm doing some adjustment, which I'm going to show it to you so that you make sure that it doesn't go haywire. I just can't find the 5 stars. Gosh, I think I don't have the 5 stars at the moment. Okay, this is the 5 stars. Okay, yeah, this is the 5 stars. Okay, cool. Looks good. So the text here should be 90 pixels. Okay, that's pretty huge. We have 82 already, so that's fine. Let's make it 90. This one, let's make it 40. I think so. That's too much. Let's make it 30. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's check this color. This is a different color for sure. So we just want to make sure that we are grabbing the right color in there. And then going to colors here, going to default, going to custom, and then clicking on add from hexa to hex, grabbing it, adding it. Perfect, we got it right. Also, one thing you'll be able to see that the text kind of jumped up because the content spacing here is on center. I'm going to make it right aligned, right? Same goes for this. I'm going to make it right aligned. You don't have much space, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add 20 pixels or 30 pixels. Perfect, isn't it? Exactly similar to what you see here. Now we have a testimonial section. Now, one thing you realize is this is 100% editable. So no need to worry about this not being editable by you, by your clients, by your customers, or by anyone literally. So you guys can edit it and you can guys can do it really, really well. So I'm just going to show it to you as to how this thing works. First of all, as you can see, there are very basic things here. First of all, this is a white color tone. You have one image here, you have one text here, you have another text here, you have a divider here, and then you have a feature image. It's not a simple image and a text, it's a featured image. All right. So for that, you want to take this column here, go to the background and make sure that's white. Then I'm going to go to advanced and I'm going to go to bottom border. I'm going to make it a bit darker and then I'm going to keep the radius to be 20. Do you see that? It's very similar to this. All right. Now what you're going to do is we're going to add an image. That's not the image. The image is basically nothing but the review graphic. Yeah, I'm just going to add that. Okay, that's something I guess on the top. Yep, we got it here. I think that's too big. Body on the left hand side, you want to make it probably 70. Yep, 70 should be good. Not bad at all. But yeah, we have some spacing issues there, so just make sure that there is enough spacing. Even the column for that sake, just make sure that we have enough spacing in there, right? Just change the column spacing. That should be good. Right, I think they have 30 pixels, just what I believe. We cannot really check how much pixel it is, but yeah, 30 pixel is what I'm predicting. Right, and then we have this particular text here. All right, let me get that text. Okay, of course, we don't need any kind of checklist there. So that's kind of removed. But let me just check quickly as to what exactly is the font size of this is going to be. This is 22 pixels. So we currently are on 2018. So we just turn that to 22. All right. I hope that we have spacing in here. We don't. Just want to make sure that we have spacing in here as well. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and let's have this text too. This is again important. Perfect. Let me just see what's the size of it. It's definitely smaller, probably 16. Yeah, that's 16 there. So 22, just make it 16. It's perfect. Now we have a divider, correct? We have a divider and then we have image. Sorry, we have a divider and then we have a featured image, correct? Let's get the divider up and running. Looks nice. Should be done fast. All right, and then we have a featured image. Let me take a featured image from here. Yeah, I kind of copy all the images all the time. Perfect. Okay. So this is James hallway homeowner. Let me just that here. All right, the image needs to go below the divider. This he's in homeowner. All right, Mr. James, you are in homeowner. That's fine. What else? Are we going to make sure that we have spacing? All right. Yeah, we want to make sure the spacing and all right. Just want to change the face as well. So let me make sure that we are changing all the faces here. Now, if I give you this image, it's going to be square, but however, if you see that this image is circle, now the way you change is very simple. You just select the image, feature, element, and go to advanced. And one thing you'll be able to see called as image radius. Instead of corners, just make it circle. That's it. All right. That just should do the job really well. There shouldn't be any kind of problems. Just make sure these unnecessary spacings are gone. All right. Because they are not needed anyway. Looks good. I think this is good to go. Right now, just duplicate this entire thing. Delete the older one. Just make sure you have enough of spacing in between, which is going to be 40 pixel recommended by me, and that's there you go. Right. This is exactly how you do it. I just want to add these content as well because I just want to make sure that it looks as good as the real one. So I definitely want to do it. Yeah, these are custom testimonials. They're not really the same. So definitely putting a lot of effort into making this, but I think this looks really nice. And then we have Alicia Mehta. Let's add Alicia as well. Alicia added there. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Looks good. Let's get the images of Alicia added as well. Right. So it's taken care. All right. This I think the duplicate should be good because it's the same thing. Again, you can have also these kind of big testimonials if you want centralized testimonial. You see, literally make it like this size and they will still look really nice, and I think they look pretty fantastic. But yeah, let's turn that off. We don't really need it for now. I think this should be good. And let's go to the FAQ. Frequently asked questions is what we're going, but we need footer some spacing there, so we are going to add 100 pixels of padding, and then let's proceed forward for the footer. No, sorry, it's the FAQ, right? So now we have the FAQ. Just gonna duplicate this, come back at the bottom. Okay, we don't really have the row. That's the reason why the text won't stick. One more thing that I would like to say is that this isn't capitalized. I'm just going to advanced. I'm going to go to text transformation here, and then I click on capitalized. All right. Now this, I'm going to make it at the center. I'm going to go to capitalize, and then I'm going to add this as frequently asked questions. Okay. So I'm going to add that here. Now we also have these texts here. I'm just going to add that. This is 20. I'm going to 20 should be fine. 18 should also work. Let's do that. Looks good. Let's add 10 pixels of spacing in there and just make sure we have 100 pixels on top, 100 pixels at bottom. That should be good. Okay. Now what we need is we need an FAQ section. So let's get that added. FAQ, just got that added here. Okay, it's not added to the right column. Okay, now the FAQ might look really, really big, but then you select the section and you see here the width here is 100%. I'm just going to make it like, I don't know, 75 should be good. All right. Then let's take this particular it here. Let's just take this particular answer and open that particular thing out, add it here. There's an image also. I don't want to show an image. So that's changed. Now you want to change the color as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to advanced here on this particular FAQ, and then I'm going to go to colors, right? Colors options, right? Now as you can see, the title open text color is this. What exactly it is just black. So it should go to the custom color, right? title background color open is white. Our in this case, this is brand color. So I'm just going to change that to brand color. Go to custom and just add that up. Okay, this title is fine, right? Title is fine, right? It's just the content background color. Content background color needs to be this. What we do for text, I think that's pretty good, right? And this is exactly how you add it. Let me add all the text. The first question is going to be how often does a roof needs to be repaired or replaced. Basically, whenever you have these kind of questions that might appear. So yeah, just make sure that you add all the questions that you normally get asked. Need not be only 4 questions. It can be literally 20 questions, 30 questions, whatever you think is necessary is something that you need to add. That's pretty much it, right? Now let's go to the list number 2 and just remove everything else. Right now, let's go to list number 3. All right, and then let's add the particular content there. Just open that up from here, the FAQ list. That should be good, and then just close the show image. You don't really need it. There's very less use cases when you actually need it. Even you could literally show it, but then it's sometimes not needed. So if you want to increase from 1 to 3, just click on these duplicate options, and this is going to create a 4th list. So just add your questions there, and then just add the content there. Right? That's pretty much it. Right? Looks really nice. Now, I didn't want to make the bottom empty. That's the reason why I got this particular trust badge added as well as the final CTA. All right. So let's see, where do we have the trust badge? We have it? Yeah, we do have it. So let's copy it. Let's drag it all the way down to the bottom of the particular page. Right. This is the simplest way of dragging images seamlessly. All right. Okay, so since that's working, here we go. I just want to make it centralized. I just want to make sure that I remove all the spacing on the left and right side. If that's done, the next thing would be to get these kind of FAQ buttons. Sorry, the primary call to action buttons, which I'll be able to get right on the top. So basically, I'm just going to duplicate the entire column and drag it down from the first section to the bottom of the section. So this is where you don't have to recreate it and literally drag it one element at a time. Rather, you could literally drag all of this entire section together or entire row together, and that will just do the job. Sometimes slow. It takes some time for sure. Let's get that added. Looks good. All right, I'll get this added. Sorry, it looks like my in. Perfect. It's plugged in. Okay. I just had somebody who saw this plugged in and he thought his laptop charger charging was gone despite the charger being connected. That's hilarious, but yeah, it just happened one day. All right, the color is fine. Let's get the borders straight up. The borders are going to be it's white, but definitely it's going to be the brand color. So that's let me make it centralized. Let me make it right aligned, and then let me add some spacing in there. Perfect. I think it looks great, right? I think it looks perfect. Now the only thing that's like, oh, by the way, one thing I want to showcase here is just go to advanced. And here, scroll down some of the options you will be able to see here. Now, there's one option there on the third point of the toggle switches, which says keep the first content open to load. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to make sure that the first content, which is the first list item, is going to open by default. I want to show it to you that it's safe for a few seconds. And then when you preview it, right? You scroll down, you see this entire site, this beautiful site, the testimonial, and then what, right? This particular question is going to be always turned off, on, and you can also turn on the others as well. But then, yeah, this one is going to be by default. All right. Now let's go back and create another section. Now this section is again super important because this is all about your footer. Now you haven't probably seen this kind of footer where we have a set of tiles here where we are showing everything and then a tiles here, the roof, and that's here, right? So the best way would be to have a 1 row 2 column structure. Of course, we're going to have an image in here. So let me just grab this particular one and add it there. Right. This is the white version of the logo because it's more of a darker nature. So we need a white logo. A lot of the clients I've seen, they don't really have a white logo option, and that sometimes create issues. So just make sure that whenever you get a logo design, always have at least a dark version and a light version with yourself because you'll need it. Honestly, you'll need it. All right. Okay. Now we are going to add the text in here, right, which is going to be left aligned. All right. What else do we need? Okay, just make it. Let the graphics in the Ford logo be on the left hand side. Okay. Now we're gonna add that particular background. Where do we have that background? Perfect. Like now, what we need to do is we need to make sure this is fully centered. Right? Doesn't look that great, but don't worry about it. It is going to look great in some time. All right. Now we need a 3 column row, right? And then ton of spacing in there. Right. Okay. So the first thing is our services, which is going to be a text effect. With this needs to be white. All right, just make it center, just make it left aligned. Our services, let it be bold. I think bold should be good. 24. Let's add divider. And the divider should be like 2 pixels and should be like 50% and should be like towards the left. That's it. And then we should have free inspections, commercial roofing. You cannot really copy these because these are like buttons. These are actually buttons so that it's easier for any of my clients in order to add them up anytime they want. So search buttons. I'm just going to make sure they are left aligned and just going to add the text up for inspection. Now one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to make these 0, all of the 0, all of the 0. I don't need any of them, right? And then I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color to transparent. All right, this is 20. I think 20 is not needed. 617 should be good, right? Likewise, I'm going to add for every one of these. So you basically can add a ton of these. So let me just add 10 pixels and then let me 10 pixels here as well, right? As you can see, I'm just going to add commercial and then we have a roof replacement. So we got that roof replacement done as well. What else do we have? Solar panels. Let me add the solar panels too. And then we have damage repair. We have the damage repairs too. Right? It's easier said than done. I mean, it looks really easy, isn't it, to do it? But then you start doing it, you're done. All right. Okay, that's fine. Let me. There's some spacing on top of it, as I can see here. I'll just make sure that those spacings are gone. Looks pretty nice. I like it. So this is basically where you can have quick contacts, quick links and contact. I think I'll just leave it this way for now, right? And then what I'm going to do here is there's a lot of spacing. So I'm just going to add a few more columns in here. Yeah, now if I just do a quick preview of this, you'll see the difference. It's saving at the moment. Now let me quickly preview it. And let's scroll down. Yeah, just look at it. Look at it. It looks pretty beautiful. Doesn't it look like, literally the footer section is hovering on top of the roof, isn't it? And this is a rooftop website. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So this is how the entire homepage of the website that we created, the stunning website. Not just that, we're also going to make this mobile optimized on the next video. So make sure that you watch the video and follow it. It doesn't look great at all. It's all messed up at the moment, but do not worry about it. We're going to cover this in the next video. I'm going to show you how to design a 100% stunning conversion oriented website on GoHighLevel on this YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next